Hello everyone, this is Gianna Bianca. Welcome to the final semester. Today, we will be discussing Chapter 5 Objectives and Introduction. We will talk about continuous process improvement, which is essential to quality management and long term organizational success. Objectives. I will simply read the objectives. Brief overview to perfection versus continuous improvement. Defining and mapping a process, learning from Juran Trilogy. Overview of approaches for process improvement. Choosing and integrating right improvement strategies. Understanding the types of problems. Understanding the concept of the PDSA cycle and problem solving method. Studying the TQM approaches, Kaizen, Reengineering, and Six Sigma. Introduction. Just a brief overview of this topic. The book says quality based organizations should strive to archive perfection by continuously improving the business and production processes. Of course, perfection is impossible because the race is never over. However, we must continually strive for its attainment. Improvement is made by viewing all work as a process, whether it is associated with production or business activities, making all processes effective, efficient, and adaptable, anticipating changing customer needs, controlling in process performance using measures such as a scrap reduction, cycle time, control charts, and so forth, maintaining constructive dissatisfaction with the present level of performance, eliminating waste and rework whether it occurs, investigating activities that do not add value to the product or services with the aim of eliminating those activities, eliminating conformities in all phases of everyone's work, even if the requirement of improvement is small, using benchmarking to improve competitive advantage, innovating to archive breakthroughs, incorporating lessons learned into future activities, using technical tools such as statistical process control, SPC, or experimental design, benchmarking, quality faction deployment, QFD, and so forth. So balik lang po natin dun sa first introduction, which is making all processes effective, efficient, and adaptable. Second is maintaining constructive dissatisfaction with the present level of performance. Third is investigating activities that do not add value to the product or services with the aim of eliminating those activities. And fourth is innovating to archive breakthroughs. So, dun sa making all processes effective and efficient and adaptable, this means ensuring that every step is a process of archives its intended goals, which means effective, and does so with minimal waste of time and resources, which means efficient, and can easily adjust to changes when needed is adaptable. Like, for example, a customer service center upgrades its software so agents can resolve issues faster. The new system is easier to update, allowing quick adjustments when customer needs changes. So, dun sa example ko na yun, dun papasok po yung making all processes effective, efficient, and adaptable. Kasi nga po, this lesson is pertaining to a continuous um, process improvement. Kasi nga po, perfection is impossible because of the never-ending race. So, ang business is, kailangan niyang gawin is continuous improvement para ma-attain yung improvement na yun by making all processes effective, efficient, and adaptable. Next is maintaining constructive dissatisfaction with the present level of performance. Meaning po nun is wag po tayong masatisfied kung ano yung present level. We should always have room for improvement. Rather than being complacent, organization should always seek improvement even if current results seems good enough. Like for example, a manufacturing company already meets quality standards but continues to look for ways to reduce production time by analyzing machine performance and worker flow. So next is the investigating activities that do not add value to the products or service with the aim of eliminating those activities. So this involves identifying steps in a process that don't contribute to customer satisfaction or product quality and removing or improving them. So by I will give an example for a bakery reviews its supply chain and realizes that manually double checking every order adds unnecessary time without improving accuracy. So they implement barcode scanners to streamline the processes. So, dito pumapasok din yung pag-upgrade nila ng workflow nila, ng mga gamit nila for accuracy, for efficiency, and for faster work. So, lastly, sa pinaka ang tawag dito, focus ng continuous improvement is the innovating to archive breakthroughs. So sometimes major improvements require thinking outside the box and embracing new ideas or technology that transform how work is done. So for example, ko dito is a logistics companies that adopts drone delivery. So in our distribution management, we are already studied about how logistic adopts drone delivery so they can reach the rural areas by cutting down delivery time by 70%. It is a bold change that gives them strong competitive edge. So um yun nga, pag gusto natin mag-improve, we should innovate, we should adapt, and we should break the stigma na magstay lang dun sa ganung process. So we should continue the process of learning, continue the process of improving. So again, those are the introduction or some of the things we should improve according to this book. So next reporter, please. Thank you.
So, we are now in the continuous process improvement. So, what is continuous improvement process? So, continuous improvement is the ongoing effort to make the product, services, or processes better over time. So, instead of making one big changes, it focuses on small, regular improvements and add up the big results. So, the key idea of the continuous improvement process is there is always a better way to do things. So next is, what is process? So a process is how a business transform the input, like the materials, money, or data into outputs, like the product or services. So what makes a process good? So a good process should be effective, which is it achieve the goal. Also, it efficient, it avoid wasting time and resources. Also, it should be controlled, it consistent and manageable. Also, it should be adaptable, that it can adjust to changes, and repeatable. It can be done by the same way again with the same results. And lastly, it also align with the conditions, like follow policies, law or regulation. So why we need to improve the process? So there is a 5 reason. First, to reduce waste, which is the reducing material waste, time and space. Also, the second reason is to reduce the errors and meet or exceed customer needs. Also, improve safety, which is fewer accidents means safer workplace. Also, increase worker satisfaction. So more comfort, it equals to worker productivity or better work. So the methods of the continuous improvement is the three main approaches, which is the Durance trilogy that focuses on the cost and quality management. The Sheward's Plan Do Study Act, which is the PDSA, a scientific step-by-step method for solving problems. And lastly, the Kaizen, a Japanese method that focuses on small daily improvements by the individuals and teams. So in conclusion, the key to continuous improvement is focus on reducing waste, improve quality and safety, enhancing employee and customer satisfaction. Next is the input-output process model explanation. As you can see naman, this method show how the process work inside an organization. So it's a cycle that turns inputs into outputs with the goals of achieving better outcomes. So as you can see of the part of the model, the input, these are the things you need to start a process, which is the examples are materials, money, information, and data. Next part is the process. So this is the core of the model. So this is where the work happens. So it involves people, the workers of manager, the equipment, tools and machineries, methods, how things are done, procedures. This is the step to follow. the environment is the working condition, and the materials is the raw materials or the raw items. So next is the output. So the output is the result of the process. Example, a finished product, service, data, or report. That's the example of output. So next is the outcome. So the biggest goal or effect of the output. That's the outcome. So example, the customer satisfaction, improve safety and cost saving. And also there's a feedback. So feedback is the information about how process or output is performing. So it helps to improve the process by identifying problems or chances to do better. So lastly, the last part is the condition. So condition is the external rules or limitation affecting the process. Example are the government regulations, company policies, and safety rules. So why this model is useful? Una-una is to help to understand how work flows in a business. Second, it shows where the problem or waste can happen. Third is guide continuous improvement by using feedback. And lastly, making sure the process follow rules and deliver quality results. Next reporter, please.
Durant's trilogy. Process improvements involves planning. One of the best approaches is the one developed by Dr. Joseph Durant. It has three components: planning, control, and improvement, and is referred to as the Durant trilogy. It is based loosely on financial process such as budgeting, expense measurement, and cost reduction. So, yung Durant Trilogy, siya yung quality management na model developed by Dr. Joseph Duran. So, meron siyang three main parts. So, planning, control, improvements. Then, yun nga, first planning. So, yung planning component begin with external customer. Once quality goals are established, marketing determines the external customer and all organizational personnel. Managers, member of multifunctional teams or work groups, determine the internal customer. Wait. So, yung planning, nagsisimula siya sa external customer. So, yung planning start by identifying who the customer are and what they need. There are two types of customer. First, yung external customer. Sila yung mga people or people na bumibili ng product. For example, yung mga client, yung mga buyers, ganon. Then, yung internal customer naman, sila yung people sa inside ng organization na nakadepend sa organization who depend on other to do their job. Like yung mga staff or teams yon. So, for example, sa bakery, ganyan, yung external customer doon, yun yung buyer na gustong bumili ng cake, ganon. And yung internal customer naman, sila yung baker na depends on the purchaser to buy the right ingredients. So once the customer are determined, their needs and are discovered, this activity requires the customer to state needs in their own words and for their own viewpoint. However, real needs may differ from stated needs. For example, a stated need may be an automobile, whereas the real need is transportation or a status symbol. In addition, internal customer may not wish to voice real needs out of fear of the consequences. One might discover these needs by being a user of the product or service, communicating with customer through product or service satisfaction and dissatisfaction information, and or simulation in the laboratory. Because customer needs are stated from their viewpoint, they should be translated to requirements that are understandable to the organization and its supplier. So, we need to understand what the customer truly needs, not just what they say they want. So, for example, a customer says they need a car, but the real need might be to get to work, yun yung transportation, or to show success, like yung status mo, yung social status. So, businesses must dig deeper to understand and translate those needs into clear, specific requirements. So, methods to find customer needs. First, be a user. Try mo muna yung mga
try mo muna yung product for yourself. Second, feedback. Get input from users, satisfaction surveys yon. Then, simulation, test the product in different situation. Next slide po. So, the next step in the planning process is to develop product and or service features that respond to customer needs, meet the needs of the organization and its suppliers, are competitive and are optimize the cost of all stakeholders. This step typically is performed by multifunctional team. So, once a customer needs are clear, so yung next step mo is i-design yung features na yon. So, meet customer expectation, match company capability, and compete in the market. Yon. So, for example, a food company learns customer want long battery life. So, the product team, like engineers and suppliers, work together to design a phone with battery but still affordable and profitable. Next slide po. Control. Control is used by operating force to help meet the product, process, and service requirements. It uses the feedback loop. So, once a process or product is working, we need to monitor it to make sure it stays within quality standard. So, kung this is done using a feedback loop, na yun yung tawag dito, yun yung makakapag-check ng performance and makakagawa ng adjustment if kailangan. So, yung next slide po. So, yan yung 5 step. So, first, determine items subject to be controlled and their unit of measure. So, kailangan piliin mo kung ano talaga yung important na like kailangan ganon, yung delivery time, yung product weight, yung mga temperature, ganyan. Then second, set goals for the controls and determine what sensors need to be put in place to measure the product, process, or service. So kailangan mo mag-set ng goals. For example, kailangan mo maka 100 orders per day. So kailangan mo mag-put ng mga tools para ma-measure yon. Like, kailangan mo ng tracking system, ganon, na kung kaya ba ng 100 orders per day. Then, third, measure actual performance. So, yun nga, di ba na alam mo na yung mga ano mo. So, kailangan mo siyang i-check ng actual, kung ano ba yung performance niya. So, like, kunwari, if instead na 100 orders per day ka lang, naging 90 orders lang siya, yun. Then, compare actual performance to goals. So, na-meet mo ba yung target? Pero, so, hindi mo siya na-meet, diba? Kasi 90 orders ka lang. Then, act on the difference. So, kung yung result niya is hindi maganda, kailangan mo mag-adjust. Like, kailangan mo siguro ng mga staff pa, mga employee, ganon, or kung may nasirang machine, kailangan mong ayusin, ganon. So improvement. The third part of the trilogy aims to attain levels of performance that are significantly higher than current levels. Process improvements begin with the establishment of an effective infrastructure such as the Quality Council. Two of the duties of the council are to identify the improvements project and establish the project teams with the project owner. So, improvement is about making things much better than before. So, hindi lang siya dapat i-maintain na current performance, but kailangan mo siyang gawin sa next level. So, it aims for big improvements in quality, speed, cost, and customer satisfaction. So, para magawa yon, yung organization mo is need nila na may right structure or people sa place na yon. So, paano magagawa yung improvement sa work? So, first, set an effective infrastructure. So, it means forming a quality council nga. Kailangan like a group of leaders, kailangan mag-focus sa quality improvement. Second, i-identify nila yung improvement ng project. So, yung quality council is namili ng mga part ng mga process na need i-improve. Like for example, slow delivery, ganon, yun yung napili mo. So, kailangan mong mag-form ng team, project team, which is para magawa yung improvement. So, a project team, sila yung group of people na gagawa ng work na yon, na magsasolve ng work na yon. So, yung project owner naman, sila yung in charge na mag-lead dun sa improvement. So, for example, no, like, let's say na delivery service, parang laging late, ganon. So, yung quality council, kailangan nilang makita yung major problem kung bakit late yung mga deliver. So, they make it an improvement project. Gagawa sila ng project about doon. So, yung team, kailangan, like yung delivery manager, wait lang. So, kailangan nila gumawa ng team, which is yung mga pag-usapan nila doon, yung delivery manager, driver, and logistics staff. So, mag-a-assign sila ng project owner doon, like supervisor, ganun. So, if yung team nalaman nila na kung bakit na-delay yung deliver due to poor route planning, so kailangan nilang i-fix yun by using GPS routing apps, ganon. So, yung result nun, faster delivery and faster delivery, ganon. Tapos, mas tataas din yung improvement. So, in conclusion on Endurance Trilogy, it helps businesses deliver high-quality product or services through planning, like, kailangan maintindihan nila yung customer needs. Then, control, kailangan nila i-monitor yung performance and kailangan nila makorek yung issues. Then, for improvement naman, kailangan nilang gumawa ng process na much better or much efficient na like yung makukuha nila for the meantime or in the long drive ng business. Yun. Okay na po. Next reporter.
There are 4 primary improvement strategies. First is the repair, second is the refinement, third is renovation, and fourth is the invention. Choosing the right strategy for the right situation is critical. It is also true that proper integration of the strategies will produce never-ending improvement. Sometimes, combining these strategies can lead to continuous improvement, ensuring long-term success. Next slide. First type of improvement strategies is the repair. Repair. This strategy is simple. Anything broken must be fixed so that its functions are desired. There are 2 levels to this strategy. If a customer receives a damaged product, a quick fix is required. This level is a temporary or short-term measure. Short-term measures shore up the problem. They should not become the permanent. So, let's think of the repair strategy like fixing a broken chair. If one of its legs snaps, you might quickly tape or glue it back together so it can still be used. This is the short-term fix, but it's not a permanent solution. Eventually, you need to properly replace the leg or reinforce the chair so it doesn't break again. An example of a repair is, imagine a customer buys a new phone, but when they unbox it, they find the screen is cracked. A quick fix would be offering a replacement or refund immediately to keep the customer happy. However, if these issues keep coming back or happening due to poor packaging, the company needs a long-term solution like improving quality control or changing the packaging design. The second type is refinement. This strategy involves activities that continually improve a process that is not broken. Improvements to processes, products, and services are accomplished on an incremental basis. Refinement improves efficiency and effectiveness. Typically, it relies on doing things just a bit quicker, better, easier, or with less waste. So let's think that refinement means gradually improving things that are already working. Instead of fixing problems, this strategy focuses on making small, steady improvements to increase efficiency, reduce waste, and make things easier over time. For example, Toyota noticed that workers wasted time walking to get tools on the production floor. Instead of overhauling the factory, they made a small adjustment by keeping tools within easy reach. This saved time, increased efficiency, and reduced frustration without a dramatic change. The third is renovation. This strategy results in major or breakthrough improvements. Although the resulting product, service, process, or activity might often appear to be different from the original, it is basically the same. Innovation and technological advancements are key functions in this approach. Renovation is more costly than the previous strategies and is usually undertaken by teams rather than individuals. So this means that doing something while keeping its original purpose the same doesn't create something entirely new, but instead upgrades it using modern technology or innovation. A common example is a traditional car to an electric car. Next reporter.
The last is reinvention. Reinvention is the most demanding improved strategy, especially by feeling that current approach will never satisfy customer requirements. A new product, service, process, or activity is developed using team-based of complete understanding of customer requirements and expectation. Reinvention or reengineering begin by imagining the previous condition does not exist. In other words, a clean sheet of paper. Then, then the team use a deep knowledge of customer requirements and expectation and invents a new product, service, process, or activity. Reinvention may also desirable to maintain organization viability or competitive advantage. An organization should use this strategy sparring because of resistance to change the fact that the new product, service, process, or activity will really need to have bugs reviewed by refinement and renovation. For the example, the whole bookstore that struggle to compete with other national bookstore with online platform. The the whole bookstore decide not just to make a website, but to reinvent itself as a digital learning platform with ebooks, audiobooks, author, live author event, and online reading group. Additional comment. The repair and refinement strategy required that all employees have the freedom to solve problems, make incremental improvement is their job. Repair and refinement improve are also immediate with very little cost. As a previously stated, innovation and reinvention are effective in making breakthrough improvement whenever they usually or most costly take longer to accomplish and have a greater risk of failure. Next reporting.
Types of problem. There are five types of problems: the compliance, unstructured, efficiency, process design, and product design. The first three are performance problem where an existing system is not performing satisfactorily. And the last two are design problem that require a new or improved design. Yung unang-una is compliance. Compliance happens when something in a system like product or process doesn't meet expectation or rules even though everything seems to be done. It's like baking a cake using the exact recipe. Pero yung kinalalabasan is weird or dry siya. Parang kulang siya sa flavor. Everything was done correctly pero yung final result hindi siya good enough para sa mga consumer or yung mga bumibili. For example, another example is Sa company, sa smartphone, pag ginagawa nila yon, strict yung standard nila. Simula sa screen, battery, and camera. Lahat yon dumadaan sa magandang proseso or sa maayos na proseso. Pero pagkatapos nun, nung ginamit na ng customer, parang may kulang pa rin or may report silang natatanggap dahil mabilis ma-drain yung battery, ganon. This is a compliance problem. The final product isn't meeting user expectation, even though every component seems fine. After investigation, they discover that the camera and battery are both good individual. The camera app used too much, which wasn't caught in the standard test. So ayun yung problema, hindi nila nakita yung na mas nagko-consume ng power yung camera. Kaya mabilis ma-drain yung nila, yung cellphone or smartphone. Next one is unstructured. Unstructured problem are issues that don't have clear rules or instruction to follow. They're hard to solve using a standard process because every situation is a bit different. This problem often come up when customers aren't happy and it's not clear why. Unstructured problem that follow fixed rules like following a recipe, ganun siya. Tapos example dito is ice cream shop. Imagine you're working yung nagtatrabaho sa ice cream. Then yung customer nag-order siya ng sundae. Pero nung katapusan na or later, sinabi nilang hindi nila na-enjoy. Sinabi nilang hindi nila na-enjoy ng hindi nila ina-explain kung bakit. Pwedeng pwedeng sinabi nila pwede ring kaya hindi nila na-explain, pwedeng possible na sabihin nila sobrang tamis ganon or hindi nila nagustuhan yung ginawang toppings ganon. For that, you can fix the problem using a step-by-step rule book. You'll need to ask question, listen carefully, and maybe even adjust how present that sundae next time. So yun nga, hindi mo siya ma-fix yung problema na yun dahil wala naman siyang step-by-step eh. Kailangan mong tanungin yung customer para malaman mo kung ano yung i-improve mo pa dati or aayusin mo pa para maiwasan yung problema na yun at masatisfy sila sa in-order nila. Next one is efficiency problem. Efficiency problem happens when something works well for the customer, but behind the scene, it's too expensive or not safe for the people doing the work. The goal is to keep the good result while lowering costs or making the job safer. For example dito is yung company nagpo-produce siya ng bottle. Then yung yung company, yung mga naglalagay doon is yung nagfi-fill ng mga laman sa bote is yung mga employee. Tapos minamano-mano nilang ayusin. So time consuming siya. Dapat gawin ng company is gumawa sila ng machine na mas mapapabilis at yung quality. Mapapababa yung gastos nila. Next one is process design. Process design is about figuring out the best way to do something, whether it's creating something new or improving how things are currently done. The goal is to make a process more efficient, effective, and suitable for present to needs. Easy explanation is, for example, gumagawa ka ng sandwich sa isang shop sa every customer. Imagine mo yan, kada customer is nag-order ng sandwich, then yung process mo is mabagal. Paano pag may dumating na customer pa, edi yung process ng paggawa mo ng sandwich is mas tatagal kasi nga dun sa isa-isa mo, tapos para ano siya, fix at maayos. Fix at maayos yung ano, yung pagkakagawa ng sandwich. Pero yung ano doon, the best way na ano, na gawin, it's either mag-hire ng other employee para maayos yung ano, yung pagka-process, may katulong siya, hindi lang siya mag-isa para hindi nauubos yung oras dahil lang doon sa paggawa one by one process ng ano, ng sandwich. The last one is the product design. Product designs happen when your product design wait lang. Product design problems happens when you're trying to create new. O, ganun rin siya. Parang parehas lang siya, pero yung ano dito is nagkakaiba lang yung pag ano. Wait, yung ano bang magandang example dito? Yung magandang example siguro dito yung ano. Nagde-design ka ng ano ng hindi natin nilayo sa pet battle, sa isang example ko ano, sa pet battles. Nagde-design ka ng pet battles tapos consider mo yung mga gusto ng mga customer mo. For example, yung gusto ng customer yung magkikip sa bote yung yung lamig since umaga hanggang gabi. Tsaka yung madali siyang mabitbit. Tapos yung job naman ng designer is figure out on how to make that happen. Paano nila gagawin 'yon para ma-meet nila yung gusto ng customer na design. Yun lang po. Thank you.